Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to Breathing Earth Qigong in the dark. I guess we'll be meeting in the dark for some months now. So, hey, that's okay. We're going to be looking into and experiencing something that we mention and kind of toss off with Qigong. Now, what it is, Qigong, is the awareness of life force energy, and then the channeling of it, and working with it, moving it, playing with it. And so we know that's what it is. We're going to go into that a little more deeply today, and also how it works with sitting meditation, particularly with practices around concentration. So I just want to demonstrate. So here's a lit match. Hope it's lit. There it is. So we've got a couple kinds of energy going here. We got high energy in the flame, and low energy in the stick. Okay, so the stick is very stable, and the flame is very energetic, very impermanent. And if I do that just to illustrate sort of the extremes of the energy that we're working with. Okay, so you can think of the stick as the body and the flame as the mind. And then what we're doing with Qigong is we're balancing, and we're working with these. Okay, we're working with high energy, non-object energy, the energy in the mind, and then we're working with the physical, the energy of the body, of materiality, and of the senses. Okay, and so we're going to be bringing these. We're going to be bringing these into awareness, and we're going to be working with them and balancing them. So have your stool ready. We're going to do a couple of rounds of sitting tonight, rather than just the usual one. Another way to think about or understand the nature of this energy, which is even more expanded from the match, is what I was discussing today with some people in my KM group, which is if there's light flowing through space, it's undetectable until it encounters an object. Okay? Until it encounters an object. So the light is just this high form of energy without object. It just is. It's just there. It's like consciousness. Okay? And we're only able to discern it with the presence of an object. Then we can see the light. If you're looking at light streaming through your window on a sunny day, you're seeing the little dust particles in the air. Okay, and if light is, if you're standing somewhere and there's a light behind you, you won't know it unless there's something for it to reflect against. So the light is the chi. The light is the energy that's here always. And it manifests or becomes detectable in the presence of an object, whether that's an object, where the object is the physical body, or whether it's a thought in the mind, an object of mind. Okay. And by balancing and harmonizing and becoming aware of how we work with this energy that's always present, we can actually move into an awareness of just the energy without an object. Okay, that's the Tao. Okay, that's awakening. Energy or consciousness, whatever you want to call it, without an object that we're aware of, that's the awakened state. Okay, and we can realize that in doing these practices. So, having said all that stuff, I now ask you to forget it all. Okay, so let's begin with bowing to the directions. So first to the north. And turning to the east. And turning to the south. And then turning to the west. And back to center. And above. And below. And within. And just after doing those movements, let's notice the breath. So the breath would be deeper than it would be just if we were just sitting, completely resting. Okay, now if you can sense into the palms of your hands, if you can sense the tingling there, the aliveness in the hands. So let's just dip the knees and sort of move the hands up very slowly. And what we're doing here is, so we want to feel and imagine that the energy in the hands is actually corresponding to moving energy or awareness or light up the spine. Okay, so lighting up the head. Now use your eyes and just very slowly going down. Now the eyes are following the hands inside the body. And the energetic presence in the hands, the tingling or the warmth, is also occurring inside the body. So eyes and hands, okay, all the way down to the perineum. And then we can point the fingers down and down the legs down into the earth. And then let's come back up, moving the hands up, aware of the energetic presence in the hands, moving the eyes with the hands, aware of the movement of the hands inside the body, moving that up, feeling that go up, and then pointing up, and then out the top of the head, out into the universe. Eyes go up and back down. So what we're doing here, by focusing on the feelings in our hands and in our body with our eyes, we're actually creating a movement, an awareness of this chi, this life force energy, and we're simultaneously receiving it. So we're doing two things at once. We're creating this movement of energy and this awareness, and we're noticing it, aren't we? So we're doing both at once. We're just working with what's already there. We're alive, we can feel the aliveness. If we weren't alive, we couldn't do this, right? So, okay. All right, now let's come up to the heart level and then just sort of part the hands so they're facing each other. And this would magnify the sensations in the hands between the left and right. And also in the middle of the chest, because that's where they are. So this is why when we move the hands in this way, the palms are always facing the body. Okay, now let's separate them. We're going up and down at the same time. Okay, and go into touching heaven, touching earth. So if you will, the upper is the flame, the lower is the stick. They co-arise. You can't have one without the other. Okay, and now we're just going to reverse them. We're going to switch them. Okay, now we can feel it in the body. And so this is balancing sort of the low energy and the high energy, or whatever you want to name it. Earth and the cosmos. Okay. And let's pause at the chest now. And now let's notice the breathing. I'm expecting the breathing is shallower than it was the last time we checked. Maybe it's a little slower because we're not using a lot of energy. Okay, so there are three ways we can affect the flow of chi. Through the body, the awareness of the body, like we just did. Through the breath, manipulation of the breath. And through our intention in the mind. That's what we've got, body, breath, and mind. Okay, and body includes all the senses. And remember that all of this is just playing with what already is and was here long before we were here, which is the life force energy, chi, or the Tao. That's all of this is unfolding within that. Okay? Okay, let's go back to standing mountain or standing earth. Standing one. So when they say drop the breath or drop the mind into the belly, we literally would do that. Let the belly be really relaxed. And then let the shoulders drop with the out breath. So we can do the same thing with the breath. So the out breath, we're going down, we're relaxing the muscles, still staying upright. The matchstick is vertical, it's upright, but we're dropping and relaxing. With the in breath, we're bringing in that energy of consciousness or of the mind. And in this position, we're balancing both of them. Okay, can you feel your hands? Okay, okay, good. Now let's go ahead and break your stance. All right, let's go ahead and go into Trembling Mountain. We'll do this for a few minutes. And we'll see how this affects the level and the movement of energy. So here, there's more energy in the body, okay? And so you may notice that your mind is probably not very active right now. And if it is, then increase this. Make this, do it faster or deeper. If you're thinking, if thoughts are coming, then go more into the body. And then what we're seeking here is a balance of awareness in the body, and emptiness in the mind. Just the chi without object in the mind. So if your mind is quiet, you may want to reduce the bouncing a little bit because you don't need it. If your mind is busy, then really get into it, really increase it, and then your mind will slow down. So we're going to be balancing the activity of the mind with the activity of the body. So use your mindfulness to monitor your body and your mind. The breath is not happening in this so much. This is disturbing the breath. So we're not there, but we're monitoring the sensations in the body because they're quite overwhelming. And at the same time, we're monitoring the mind. And we're seeking a state of balance where the mind is still and the body's moving. And see if you can arrive at a place where you can reduce the movements in the body, and yet the mind is still quiet. And the more you can reduce the movements, the more the body gets quieter or more still, then you can begin to notice the breath. Okay, very good. And now there's a segue into just barely moving the body or letting the body be still. And now we're just feeling the chi. Without moving the body, we're feeling the aliveness of the body. Okay, it's not the thinking mind that's feeling this. Mindfulness is noticing this. It's coming through the sense door of feeling, and mindfulness is noticing it. And mindfulness can notice the mind also. Okay, relax. And notice the breath. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and break your stance. So I think you're getting a sense of the interplay here between body, breath, and mind, and all unfolding in mindfulness. Okay. Okay, let's go into the morning routine, because this is very much about raising energy. I realize it's not morning, but that's okay. All right. So now remember, in standing one, we want to balance the awareness of the body, which we can feel, and the awareness of the breath, and then the mind being quiet. Okay, now if the body is still like this and we're breathing deeply, that's going to activate the mind. So if that's happening for you, just consciously reduce the breath a little bit. Just tone it down a little. And if you really want to slow the mind down or stop it, focus on the space at the end of the out breath. We've done this. So let out, take a deep breath, let out the out breath, and then rest in that space, and the mind will quiet down. Okay. So first movement, Earth's fragrance drifts up. So the hands are together. So dipping the knees, in breath, just up to the heart level, and then so we're breathing deeply. We're moving the body. And with the in-breath, the body is getting straight, tall. With the out-breath, the body's relaxing. Now, so can you sense the correlation between the palms and the torso? So as we're moving the palms up, we're also moving the awareness up inside the body. And so the ancients would say we're bringing up earth chi, or ancestral chi, up into the lower and the middle dantian. So really harmonize the movements with the breath. We're activating the belly and then the heart area. Okay, a couple more. Okay, touch into standing for a moment. Okay, and next one. Sunrise on the horizon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the hands are not touching. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, now this next one is going to go much higher. So we're going to dip down. So parting the clouds, palms face each other, elbows, look up, and then at the top, turn the backs of your hands together and separate the clouds and looking up. So the sun, the light of the sun, the moon, the stars comes down into the forehead and into the body. Okay, and then repeat at your own pace. So this is an in-breath. After that, just breathe naturally. So use your eyes and sense this light coming down in and filling the body. And then it goes all the way through and down into the earth. So this is a balancing, not only of the body, but of the universe. So parting the clouds, eyes follow the hands, looking inward. Yeah, let's do 2 more. Okay, palms, elbows, eyes go up, part the clouds. End on an out breath. Okay, so now this standing position 1 includes everything from the earth all the way up through the body, way out the top of the head and the universe. This is a state of concentration in that it includes everything. Now sense into the hands. Okay, and just notice the quality of the sensation of the body. How does the body feel? Relax. After any set of movements, we want to relax again on purpose. Okay. So washing with rainbow dew, so starting with the right hand, so pointing to the center line, comes up and then down and then left. Okay, one more on each side. Now this is a little intermission then, and just check in. Just feel the body, feel the tingling. And at this point, we're releasing excess chi. So this flipping away the fog. So we brought all this in, all the way up to the cosmos, and now we're just letting it flow through. We're releasing what we don't need. Okay, and then we're not negating everything we've done. We're letting it go through us. Okay. Okay. Now the ancient practice of elevating the energy. So let's sense into the heaviness of the body and the heaviness of the planet, of the earth, just how big and heavy it all is and how ancient it is. So we're not thinking about it, we're just kind of feeling it. Okay, so we're gonna bend at the waist, and then our hands, then we're going to bring up this, however you see it or feel it, we're going to bring up this chi from the earth and place the hands opposite the belly. Okay, let's do it together. So here we go. So going down. So picking this up, however you sense it, and then bringing it, and it's penetrating the body. It's light, so it's going right into the body, below the navel, into the center of the body. The hands are resting on it. Okay, so 3 more times. We want to focus on the breath in the upright position. Let the hands sort of expand out. Belly's very soft. And this chi, this energy, this light is pulsing with the breath. It sort of is the breath. Okay, and let's do 2 more. So this, you may sense this beyond the belly. That's just where it begins. Okay, and let's do the last one. So you may remember this is also embracing the womb. And just check in with the hands, belly, bottoms of the feet. Okay, next we're gonna bring some of this up into the heart 3 times. So dipping the knees. So we bring this up, move the eyes with the hands, bring it up into the heart. You know, just some of it. This is called refining the chi. So the energy is moving from gross into more subtle. Okay, and then again. So now we're aware there's light in the belly and in the chest and in the hands. Okay, and then once more, last one. Okay, now you can use your eyes if you want to, and your breath. You can repeat this. So bringing up energy from the earth, looking way down. In breath, bring it up into the belly and the chest. Out breath, and look it back down. Or the in breath, you can imagine that the body's filling with light, expanding out. Out breath, it's concentrating. Okay, so we've got the body part. So now we'll go into touching heaven, touching earth. So remember, now we're extending the senses beyond the hands. So extending beyond the hands, way up, way down. Okay, and bringing this back to the heart. And then embracing all that is. Good. Switch hands. Okay, let's do one more set. Extend. Okay, good. Very good, and come back to stand. Okay, and now very slowly, let's get the stool. We could use the lan fa if you like, or however you would like your hands. Okay, so let's just check in here. Okay, is the body here? Body is here. How do I know? I can feel it. And I can also see and hear and smell and taste. So that's all body. Body's here. It's the nature of the sensation, the tingling quality, tingling, warmth, or however you perceive it. Nature of all the senses. Okay, the breath is the breath here. Just notice the quality of the breath. We've been moving and standing, so it's probably a little different than if you were just resting. Okay, so the breath is here. I know the breath is here because I can feel it. Okay, what about the mind? Is the mind here? So just check in the space. The mind's the space. Mind may be very quiet, it may be active, whatever it is. And the mindfulness notices all of this. So the mindfulness is here, right? Okay, and all of this is composed of objectless awareness. The body, the breath, and the mind, and the mindfulness are all qualities of a self that are made up of the Tao or Qi. So that's here. So let's try relaxing the body with the out breath. Make it even a little more relaxed. And as it becomes a little more relaxed, it becomes a little more upright at the same time. Okay, let's notice the breath. Just extend the out breath a little. Rest in that space. As the mind quiets, we can rest more in mindfulness. That is the awareness of the mind and the breath and the body. Can rest more in that. Now here, if you want to, you can make the breath more subtle. Little by little, it won't happen all at once. And let the concentration go into the sensations of that subtle breath. And you might want to ask yourself, what does it feel like when there's no busy mind, there's no thinking? What's the feeling of that? Okay, now the narrator will be there. The narrator is not the busy thinking mind. The narrator is there, available. It's the voice of mindfulness if you want it. So you can use the narrator to say, ah, this is concentration, or slow the breath, whatever you like. Now the narrator is allied with intention. So when you feel a sense of stillness amidst the chi, okay, that's the space of the concentrated mind. This can get very blissful. Okay, and that's good. So we can just maybe just touch into this briefly. This space of either fullness or emptiness or quiet illumination. And the breath naturally becomes subtle. And that's one way you can tell. If you're entering into a concentrated state, the breath will be quite subtle. The body will be relaxed and upright. The mind will be quiet. And there is an awareness here, the mindfulness and something even more. It may be still also, but it's here. So our teachers tell us that we want to be able to maintain this state of relaxed awareness for a period of time. Just resting in it. It is not an end in itself, but it's a very important step on the path. Okay, so you want to check in the body. Is the body sagging? If it is, then just correct it a little. Just check in with the breath. What's it like? Check in with the mind. If the mind begins getting active and thinking again, that means the energy's dropping. And you want to straighten up. Come into the body more. Come into the breath more. Maybe rest at the end of the out breath until you get to a more subtle place where the thoughts don't reach. Okay, we're just going to take a few more breaths. Okay, and then just very gently sort of bring yourself back. We're going to run over a little bit tonight. I hope that's okay, maybe just 5 minutes. Okay, because we want to solidify this now. So let's stand. It's okay. Okay, and let's just go into flying cranes. Okay, however you want to do them. The only thing is to move with the breath. They may be really big, they may be really subtle. Now, right at the top or right at the bottom, can you sense the presence of that concentrated state? There's stillness. Okay, there's birth and there's death, there's in-breath and there's out-breath, but there's stillness where they meet. Okay, let's just do a couple more. Okay, reduce. Okay, now let's bring up your stool again. Okay, and let's just drop into, you can use the breath, the space at the end of the out breath, whatever you like. Drop into that quiet space, stillness, and feel it so you know you're there. So you want to recognize this whenever it arises. You may naturally sort of visualize flying crane when you're in this space. That's fine. That's the narrator. Okay, so this is the space of awareness that's beyond the thinking mind, that's present in the body and in the breath, and is natural. A flying crane fits right in with this. It's not thinking. Okay, it's much higher than that. It's the commentary on this space. It's an expression of the breath. Okay, let's just take a few more breaths. You may smile a little involuntarily. Okay, and I just want to leave you with one comment. So all of these practices, the skillful means, to move into this, what they call a concentrated state, it's to quiet the body and mind, to bring awareness and to increase mindfulness, all those things. And it is into this space that we bring in our investigation. So if there's something you want to contemplate, or if there is a relationship issue, if there's a problem, if there's, whatever, a question. If you grapple with it with a thinking mind, you may get nowhere, or worse than nowhere. If you invite it in the space of awareness, concentrated awareness, there's a good chance that it will resolve in some way, or that there will be insight. Insight will happen. Okay, and this is why sometimes people get these insights either when they're dreaming or when they just wake up or in deep meditation, because it's like parting the clouds. The clouds are all the thoughts, and getting above the clouds, then you can see a bigger picture. So that's kind of the use of this. Okay. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and clap hands on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Make heat. Massage your eye sockets. Comb back your hair with your fingernails. And massage your ears. And rub down your face and so on. Okay, and make loose fists. Tap your kidneys. And massage your kidneys. All right, thank you for your practice. And we'll now have questions and comments. And I will go ahead and stop this recording here.